Hang Dekai showed up in front of Mr. Zhao with a gift saying that he thought that they agreed that he will handle the road construction while the respectable town hall official will collect his share. Mr. Zhao was a bit annoyed to be bothered while having fun with two beautiful girls. Dekai continued by saying that they can adjust the percentages from 30% to 40%. The young man was thinking that he guessed right, this is about the shares, the town hall official is trying to squeeze him out of more money. And then continued saying that the qualification review is just a formality, so he can use a shell company to go through the process again. Mr. Zhao threw away the gift and started screaming that the qualification documents cannot be forged, and a few cigarettes as a gift won't make him break the law. He isn't a beggar. Dekai was trying to defuse the situation and apologize, but the town hall official stated that he isn't playing around, his decision is final. The young man was struggling to repair the relationship and offered 50% of the profit. Mr. Zhao had enough and kicked out Dekai. A bodyguard kicked the man out and threatened to never show his face again. Moments later in another room of the nightclub, Mr. Zhao was welcomed inside by a host. Xing Wang and manager Kang were waiting for the town hall official who apologized for being late. Mr. Zhao started by thanking on behalf of the townspeople for funding the road construction. And the protagonist was thinking that the man in front of him is a profiteer and a hypocrite. He then answered that his intention is not that noble. He is actually worried for his parents getting old and wants the roads to be repaired so they won't have to struggle. Xing Wang then asked if the roads will deteriorate again like last time, and Mr. Zhao answered that it won't happen again while thinking that he has to endure this treatment because he's rich. He then continued saying with absolute confidence that the road they'll build will last for hundreds of years. Xing Wang said that he will then put his hope in the town hall official. A system notification popped up saying that the host is showing his moral character by building houses and roads for the people in only 2 days and 1 night. The host received a bonus. The protagonist was actually wondering why the system was quiet for the past days, but looks like it prepared something special. Sometime later at the uncle's house, Wang Ju was whining that her future husband is doing nothing all day and only playing on his phone. If she knew that he was only good at talking and getting the road construction project was a lie, she would have chosen Hang Xing Wang. He lives in the city and has real job opportunities. Those words pissed of Dekai. He didn't want to hear the protagonist's name and asked again what did she say. She continued saying that even the bird in your hand can fly away and that her future husband is useless. If it was her, she would have even kneeled in front of Mr. Zhao to get the project, but after all, Dekai is only good at showing off. She can't believe that she got fooled completely by his act. She then decided to go find Xing Wang. They grew up together, so he will surely take her with him. At that moment, Dekai rushed towards Wang Ju, called her shameless for not being able to earn any money but still criticizes him. He then threw her to the ground and asked if she is asking for a beating. At the Hang residence, the father and the mother received a bunch of documents to look over. But they weren't able to understand what is all this about. So manager Kang explained that the road construction will affect their property and as compensation, they will build for them a new house as compensation. The parents found it hard to believe what are they hearing. The manager said that if this is not acceptable, they can also add some monetary compensation. The parents were thinking that they were really lucky to receive a new house plus money for only 1 square meter of land being affected by the road construction. Mrs. Hang answered that it's more than enough and Mr. Hang excitedly told his son that they are going to soon own a new house. A couple of days later at the bus station, Xing Wang was informing his parents that he is going back. The mother told him that she knows that it's hard to work in a big city but he still should take care of his health. And when he comes back home, he'll be able to move into a bigger house. The protagonist assured his mother that he will take good care of himself but now he has to go so he won't miss his ride to the airport. Xing Wang left while his parents were telling him to come back soon. In the first-class cabin waiting area, the protagonist was thinking that this trip was worth every penny, when someone recognized him. It was the beautiful gal when asking what is he doing here. Xing Wang answered that he was in his hometown to visit his parents, and today he is returning to the city. She apologized for not asking about his sick mother. She heard that he left the job because he couldn't leave to visit her. She then asked if his mom is alright now. He answered that it's nothing serious and she's recovering well. Gao Wen said that she is here for a business trip, because the company wanted to change her image, so she's been working on a rural revitalization campaign. She just finished up and was returning home when they ran into each other. Such a small world. Xing Wang agreed that this is quite the coincidence. She then asked if the protagonist has any plans of joining a certain company when he returns. But if it's inconvenient, he doesn't need to force himself to tell her. He answered that it's no secret. He has no plan on joining a company but he's thinking of starting his own company. Xing Wang was thinking that he already rented a building right across his old workplace just to annoy his former boss. Gao Wen was happy to hear that and offered to help if needed. She even offered to put the man in contact with some affordable editors and photographers. Then, her phone started ringing. She excused herself to take the call while thinking that He Shui is insane for calling her 100 times in one day. As soon as she answered, the manager started to scream that she thinks to be too important after she made some money and dares to ignore his calls. She has to go live right now and compete with Jia because her team has been tagging her for the last half an hour. Gao Wen answered that she needs to board the plane and cannot go live now, and the manager said that she didn't board yet, so she can still go live. She stated that she will board soon and the next flight is in 10 hours, plus, this is her free day. He Shui answered that there is no such thing as free days in this industry, and the company isn't supporting her for nothing. If she misses the flight, she can just stream for 10 hours from the airport. Does he need to solve all her problems? That made Gao Wen lose her composure and screamed that she made the company more than enough money. Also, she's been the top streamer for the last 6 months, so it's not like the company is supporting her for nothing. The manager didn't care. Her contract is still with his company, so she just has to do what she's told. He then told her to stop whining and to go online. If she says another word, then he will consider it a breach of contract. Xing Wang asked if she is talking to He Shui, receiving a positive answer. The manager heard that the protagonist is there and called the woman a liar for saying that she's at the airport, because she's probably naked in bed. Gao Wen stated that he should stop spreading rumors because she already provided evidence of her round-trip flight in the company chat for reporting. He then challenged the streamer to go live in order to prove that she is at the airport and not in bed. That really pissed off Gao Wen, to the point that she didn't have strong enough words to curse him. At that moment, Xing Wang grabbed the phone from the beauty's hand and asked on the call how much is the breach of the contract fee, so he can pay it. Also, the call is recorded and he has the right to sue for defamation. Manager He started to scream that the poor boy cannot afford the breach of contract fee and should stop acting rich, but the protagonist ended the call. That pissed off the manager. Gao Wen asked if he is really going to pay for the breach of contract fee, while thinking that she has no right to accept his kindness. She then added that her situation at the company is not that bad. He Shui only gives her trouble occasionally. Also, the breach of contract fee will be exorbitant, so there is no reason to let them take advantage of this. She has some money saved, so she can slowly pay off the fee. Xing Wang then said that she shouldn't feel bad, because he is also doing this for his own benefit. He is actually starting his own media company right across Meow Meow Media and wants to hire some familiar faces to get started. Is actually a good strategy to poach some talent in order to make a name for himself. The beauty asked if he is serious about rivaling Meow Meow, while wondering who the protagonist really is to afford creating a new company to rival a media giant. Xing Wang continued saying that the salary package will be a pure commission model where half of the monthly earnings will go towards the breach of contract fee, and after that will be paid off. They will split the income 70-30, with 70% towards the streamer and 30% towards the company. She said that if the protagonist is not a kind person, then who is? Xing Wang then asked if the ratio is too low and Gao Wen answered that no way, it's actually too high. He doesn't need to help that much. She was thinking that he is giving her a better split than any other media company, and on top of that, he is also paying her breach of contract fee. He then said that she is the only one that didn't look down on him, and actually treated him with kindness, so it's only natural to return that kindness. Plus, because the protagonist has a good eye for people, he believes that she will have a bright future, so this actually helps him make more money in the future. She will definitely bring in more money than the breach of contract fee, and this is like an investment in her. She didn't know what to say after receiving all this kindness, and was thinking that Xing Wang is extending a life-saving branch towards someone that is drowning and is making it sound like he is getting a big favor from it. With a pretty smile, she accepted the conditions and agreed to join his company. Some days later, in the office building area, inside the Meow Meow Media Group office, Xing Wang and Gao Wen presented themselves in the office of manager He. The manager asked Gao Wen if she really believes the promises a man makes in bed while he is full of lust. If he doesn't pay up after they came together at the company, she will be left in disgrace. Xing Wang interjected by asking to stop wasting time and call the legal department in order to terminate the contract already because he doesn't have time to waste. He Shui asked if the protagonist knows how much is Gao Wen worth and if he can afford the fee. He heard that recently he got some money and is now full of cash, but when the poor get rich, they tend to waste their money as fast as they get them. So when he will end up in debt, his life will be ruined. The protagonist answered that money is a renewable resource, and the more you end up spending, the more you will make, so the manager shouldn't worry about it. He then noticed that He Shui is losing his temper and made sure to ask if he worries that the fee will be paid without issues. That put the manager in an awkward situation. He had no answer to that comment. But he tried to recover by saying that it's not his company, so he isn't losing anything. Xinguang then said that he worries about the future of manager He, because he has only a bit of power and he is using it to bully people. That annoyed him and reminded the protagonist that he used to be under his command like a dog. That prompted the young man to say that he used to be a legal employee who signed a labor contract, and if he calls him again a dog, he will sue him, then reminded the manager of the company rules which protect employees from defamation even after the contract ended. So if he continues with comments like this, he will take legal action for both himself and Gao Wen. A couple of minutes later, inside the conference room, an employee from the legal department presented the end of contract documents. Gao Wen was feeling a bit hesitant as it was a big decision, and manager He commented that she can still change her mind because following Xinguang will bring her only misfortune. That actually encouraged her to sign the documents immediately as she asked for him to not worry about her. The documents were signed, and He Shui started saying that the termination is not complete until the fee is paid and the protagonist shouldn't think of running away without paying. Xinguang answered that there is no rush, also the payment was made a minute ago. He should check before running his mouth. The manager didn't believe that the protagonist has millions in cash to pay, and asked to stop talking nonsense. Xinguang told him to just stop worrying and go check with the finance department, idiot. He then went to the window and said that it's nice to be in upper management and have such a nice view. Then told manager He that they have a long future ahead. 3 notifications were prompted saying that the host truly understands money and that they grow the more you spend, and that's why he was rewarded with 99,999,999 points. Xinguang was thinking that he will enjoy draining the company of all its money. Outside of the office building, someone was calling for the 2 young people. It was Ching, calling it a coincidence for the 3 of them to meet there. She then asked if it's true that Gao Wen quit and if they can still meet up in the future. The dance streamer was trying to avoid answering, but Xinguang said that there is nothing stopping them. He then pointed at the building across the street and said that they will be in that office building, and she can even come at their cafeteria for lunch. That only left the cutie with more questions, but then the protagonist's phone started to ring and he excused himself to take the call. He didn't recognize the caller. After answering, a woman informed him that his property certificate is ready and when will he be able to come and pick it up. He answered that very soon. She then said that they are looking forward for his visit and hanged up. Xinguang was thinking that he almost forgot that he has to inspect his villa. He then told Gao Wen to take some time to rest and plan their business because he needs to take care of something. With a really wide smile, the beauty agreed. While Xinguang was leaving, Ching asked if he paid for her friend's contact termination fee, to which she received a positive answer. She then said that it's hard to believe that the office errand boy is actually a wealthy tycoon, and you truly cannot judge a book by its cover. At a real estate agency, a woman was informing her employee that a VIP client is coming and everybody should be very respectful. This is crucial for the well-being of their company and everything should be perfect. On the other side of the call, a man said that he understands and he will make sure that the reception will go without any issues. After the call ended, he summoned every employee. He informed that Mr. Hang, who bought the 300 million villa, is coming to their agency, and everyone should be at the entrance to welcome him. Everyone needs to make sure that they are fully presentable to maintain the reputation of the Hongcheng real estate. He then told the female sales agent that they cannot be careless with such an important guest. The woman asked if they have a photo of Mr. Hang so they can greet the right person. Manager Wang answered that they cannot possibly have a photo of a mysterious tycoon, but as soon as he arrives, they will all know because that's how people like him usually are. He then scolded her for lacking judgment after such a long career in sales, and she apologized. The manager touched the door and noticed some dust, and made a huge scene that the employees couldn't clean everything and that they are unable to offer an excellent experience to the VIP. Sometime later, a taxi arrived in front of the real estate agency. Xinguang got out of the car and was impressed by what he was seeing. He was thinking that the sales office of the Hongcheng real estate was looking impressive. But he wasn't able to understand why there were so many people waiting outside. Were they waiting for the company chairman? He got inside the big office and noticed that there was no one inside. Could it be that everyone was outside? This promised villa sounds a bit suspicious now. Looking at the model in front of him, he was thinking that the villa's area is looking nice with all the pools and fancy landscaping. Everything looks like it's from a TV show. Then, Irene, the sales agent, arrived and asked Xinguang what house would he like to see so she can show him around. The manager intervened and asked her to go to him for a moment. He asked her why isn't she watching the entrance properly because they aren't receiving any other clients at the moment. She answered that he is still a customer. Manager Wang got annoyed and said that the VIP will show up soon, so she has to clear everyone out. Irene tried to protest because they didn't even post a notice, so it's not fair for the other customers. He then called her foolish and said that he will handle it, while thinking that this client looks poor and shouldn't even dare to enter their office. Now he is in the way of their VIP client and needs to get rid of him quickly. Manager Wang told the protagonist that he should know his place. If he cannot afford their villas, he should just leave and not waste everyone's time. Xingwang, confused, asked if the man is talking to him. The manager ignored that and asked Irene to clean the dust because their VIP client might question their cleaning abilities. The protagonist asked how should he know if the house is good for him if he doesn't look at it. Manager Wang then said that Xingwang looks poor and cannot afford their expensive villas. He gave him a chance to leave gracefully, but now he is only embarrassing himself. The protagonist answered that the management in this agency doesn't seem very good, and also people seem to judge based on appearance and he doesn't think that the houses here are worth such high prices. The manager then said that the young man is bitter because he cannot afford it. That was the last straw for Xingwang. He pulled out his phone and called his contact at the real estate agency. She answered and asked if he arrived at their sales agency, and if he has any questions to ask for Manager Wang. The manager realized that the voice on the call sounds familiar. While the protagonist stated that Manager Wang called him unworthy of buying a house and only embarrassing himself, that's why he decided to go and buy a villa somewhere else. The woman said that she will come there herself to solve the issue, while thinking that Manager Wang lost his mind. She then continued saying that there has to be a misunderstanding and while running, begged him to take a seat and wait for her. The woman asked her driver to take her to the sales office as fast as possible. She then called Wang Sheng and asked what did he do. If the VIP client gets offended, especially after she told him to take good care of him, he will get in big trouble. At the real estate sales agency, the manager assured his boss that he will look into it. After the call ended, he started to scream at Irene because she didn't clear the area, and the VIP client is probably upset because they were serving other clients. Xingwang was thinking that Manager Wang might have figured out that he talked with his boss, but seems like he is more dumb than he looks. Wang Sheng grabbed Irene's ear and continued scolding her that she can't do her job properly and that they might lose their job because she's incompetent. She started crying, and apologized, she was only doing her job. The manager then started to pick on the protagonist, calling him poor and he should leave because he's bad for business. At that moment, the purple hair woman had arrived and called for Wang Sheng, who was still trying to make Xingwang to leave. He then greeted his boss and tried to explain the situation, but she completely ignored him and continued to walk towards the protagonist. Manager Wang was thinking that his boss is so angry at the young man that she wants to kick him out herself. But she bowed and presented herself as Li Weining, the deputy general manager at Hongcheng Real Estate. She then apologized for the poor customer experience and for the rude treatment he received from Manager Wang. Hearing that, he couldn't believe what is going on. Why is she so respectful to this brat? General Manager Li was still apologizing and promising that they will strengthen their management in order to prevent such discrimination to happen again. Irene realized that the poor-looking man was actually the VIP they were expecting. At the same time, Li Weining was telling Xingwang that they treat every client equally and she hopes that he will give their real estate agency another chance. Then, Manager Wang asked his boss how can such a poor-looking person be a rich client, while thinking that the VIP should be someone with a grand presence and expensive clothes. Pissed off, General Manager Li turned towards him and said that she already told him many times to treat customers equally, but he kept ignoring her words. That's the moment he realized that he is done for. She then continued saying that he got arrogant from selling a couple of houses and becoming manager, but from tomorrow, there is no reason for him to come at work anymore. Those words devastated him, and fell to his knees. He started saying that he has elderly parents and young children to support, monthly mortgages and car payments, plus, his daughter is sick, then went at her legs and begged to not fire him because she knows his situation. With a cold attitude, she answered that she's running a business and not a charity, so he should have thought of these things beforehand. Manager Wang then went to Xingwang and begged to give him another chance and apologized for the rude behavior. At the same time, Irene was trembling in fear because she knew that she will be next, and was really scared to be fired. The protagonist then said that the female sales agent is good so she should be the manager and Manager Li agreed and proposed to go see the property. Wang Sheng couldn't believe that Irene is going to be the manager now. While leaving, Xingwang said that it's getting late and asked if they can still see the villa, and the general manager answered that yes, because she is personally taking him. Irene couldn't believe that she just got promoted and is going to be the manager. A notification was triggered because the host is brave, righteous and fighting for justice. The reward is a heart. Xingwang was thinking that he has no need for a heart, he needs practical rewards. Another notification was triggered, asking to not underestimate the system's compliments, because they can be very useful same day. That made the protagonist think the systems can also be playful sometimes. Thank you for watching the fourth part of the series, The Ultimate Wantless Godly Rich System. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you also hate Dakai as much as I hate him. Goodbye.